Okay. Uh, so yesterday we discussed about how the version control system will work and what are the basic commands which we will use in a day-to-day activities, all those things, right? Let us do all those things practically today's session. Okay. Is my screen visible? I'm sharing already, right? Okay. Before moving to the practical session, you need to install the Git. So how to do that? If it is already there, you can just check. Can check just by typing Git version. If it is already there, ignore this. Otherwise, you can install from this Git version. It will show that. Okay. So this is the link you need to install from this. Okay. Authentication and all. Just straightforward. This is the location where you can download the Git and download it from the Windows, whichever it is. If you log into that based on your operating system, it will take you to the, you need to select the respective installers and install it. Okay. So when you first connect to Git repo, whether it is Git repo, right? The credential manager will prompt. You need to give your, for your Microsoft basically, right? So So this is linked to your AD. So that is the reason it will first time it will ask you to give a per this. Then you need to add all these things. Let me see if it is there. Okay. Now we'll do all practical sessions for this scenario. You should have saved it, I think, yesterday's session. Let me see if I have. I think this is what we tried, right? So there will be a git add, git commit, then git clone, git push. These are the things which we discussed yesterday, right? So we will try all these things. Okay. Basically, how to perform all these things using Git CLI. Okay. So we are going to have a local repository now. Where is this document? Here. This one we are going to work. Okay. First, what we'll do, we'll create a working directory. Then we will stage those entire project to here. Then we will move that to a local repository. Then we'll push that to a remote repository. Okay. For that, I will be using an example of a .NET project. In an entire project, this is a live project. Okay. Uh, Basically a small website where you can deploy, because in real time also there will be a number of files. Here what we are going to deploy, only one DLL we are going to deploy, right? So basically I'm going to use a .NET. What is solution? Solution is nothing but a collection of projects, right? Then can be basically it will be like class libraries or CS files or test project, right? Or one can be a database project. Like that, many projects or multiple projects can be a part of a single solution. Assume your okay. So basically, if you take any project, right, it is a combination of CS files, config files, XML files, HTML. It's a combination of files basically. What is important here to be noticed, every time it is always you have to perform a build on the CS project. For this, what are the basic themes? First, it will be first step will be restore, then build, then the objects will be generated. It can be exe or DLL. Then if you want to deploy these things, there is something called publish. These are the four commands basically. How the source code will get built and how we are going to deploy. What does this restore does, because if you take any project, right, in the context of .NET, you need something called prerequisites, right? So it will pull all the do-get libraries. When you get libraries will be there, you get libraries. So it will pull all the libraries which are required to build your project. So once the prerequisites are done, then you need to perform build. Build is nothing but compiling of all these source code files and generating a single exe or DLL, basically the executable, right? Most of the time, the single exe or DLL is not going to be useful for the deployment function. That is where the publish will used. The publish, what it does, it will package these things into a form of packaging or deployment form, right? If you take any developer, the steps may be same. If you take a Java or Python or Perl, Go, there will be some steps to perform. To take Java, there will be Maven, you need to call whatever the required things, right? So you need to execute all those commands. Similarly, Perl or C, C++, anything. The commands might change, but the process remains same. Okay. First, what we'll do, we'll create a new .NET project. So to, to do this, first thing what you need to do, go to just search for something called .NET Core SDK. Okay, .NET Core SDK. So you just download latest one, whichever it is. Okay, SDK for whichever version, .NET 9.0, 8.0, whichever is latest one, right? You can go and download for the respective ones. Windows in the whichever the format you want. So same, just straightforward, nothing much. Okay. Once you install it, go to your this thing. Because I already installed, just check .NET, check the .NET version basically. Okay, I have so and so SDK version of 8.0. Okay, whichever is the latest, just try to download that. Just if you want only the version, -1 version, you can give 8.0. It will give. Okay, so first install the .NET version. For actually, as a DevOps engineer, even if the version is 9.0, you see here, it really doesn't matter with the process. Only where it matters, it matters only for the developers, right? For DevOps engineers, it really doesn't matter with the DevOps process wise, right? Now we have installed .NET on, let us do, so we'll create some color. Okay. To Azure DevOps demo. Yeah. I have multiple things. Okay. So you can select anyone. What I'll do, the directory of score. Hmm. First, what we'll do, we'll create a solution. I'll share the steps, don't worry. Here, these are the steps which we are going to cover. First, we'll create a solution. Okay. Next, we'll use this. Okay. Here, I'm going to create a solution. This is actually from a developer point of view. I'm just trying to explain from the starting how the project will work. Then we'll get into the DevOps things. Okay. Just create a new solution. It will be like example, uh, just hello world app, a simple web application. Okay. This is the name of my solution. Now there will be one folder which will get created hello world app. You go to inside that hello world app. You can see here. There will be a SLN file. Now, if you see here, this is the solution file which is created. The solution file will contain the information about all the projects, whatever projects we are going to create. Now let us create a project. So what is the command to create a project? .NET. There are multiple types of projects basically, right? I'm going to create some project. Make sure you should have hello world app web basically. I'm going to create a web application because I'm going to create a web application. A small web application will create. Done. Right? Now, if you go and see, where are we? This is the location, right? This entire course will be completely based on a project based. That's 12 demo. This is the project Hello World app, which we have just created 16/7 at 2015. Right? You will find a solution and a web application. If you go inside to this, you'll find a lot of files here. This is mainly for the developer. For DevOps engineer, it really doesn't matter what files you have. If you know, it is well and good. If you don't know, don't worry at all. Okay. Now we want to run and see the application. We'll perform the steps what I just explained some time back. These things. Okay. This is what we have done. I want to do the build now. Just a command, .NET build. That's all. Build is succeeded. Okay. So what it does, first it will restore the dependencies. Then you can see here, determining project to restore. First it will restore. Okay. Then it will build the application based on the a sample project which we have just created. Okay. Now, if you see, there will be one folder for the objects. CD2, no, CD2 bin. Should go to web. Here bin, right? Where did we build it? Unable to find project to restore the Azure DevOps patch. How did we execute this? Earlier some problem, so it did not. Now it is actually restoring the NuGet packages. That's what I was telling. So if you see the previous one, we have executed from outside the project. Ideally, the build should happen from inside the project. That is the reason it has not identified and not generated the DLLs. Now it is generating. If you see here, now it has generated. Now if you go, there will be a bin folder. See here, now bin folder is created. Earlier it was not there. cd to bin. Then here there will be release and debug folders. Debug example. Under this, you will find the .NET version, whichever you have. Okay. .NET 8.0. Okay. Now, if you see list here, these are the DLLs. If you see here, hello world app web.dll, hello world app web.dll. These are the things which we need to deploy. Okay. Clear? So this is how we will generate the build. Now, how to run this? I want to run this. I want to see whether my application is deploying. Basically, I want to execute this. I want to deploy this DLL, particular DLL. Okay. How to do that? Go back to your application level. Okay. Right now I'm here. Go to your, or you can directly run a command .NET bin. Then what we have debug as of now. Then what we have .NET 8.0. Then we have the DLL file. What is the DLL file we saw? Hello world .web.dll. Just execute this. So now what it is doing is deploying this application, the small application, into some web URL. So now see here, now it is listening with the port 5000. Your application is listening with the port 5. Let's see and run this application with my local host. See here, this is a default template, which is very small. Welcome. We'll modify this website. For now, just try to understand. This is the home page, this is the privacy, all the information. Okay. Clear? Any doubt so far? So this is a simple web application which you have just generated and deployed our DLL into localhost. It can be any server. If you have server IP, you can deploy into server. We'll see all those things. Okay. Now, if I want to stop this, just Control C command. You just see application is shutting down. Now, if you refresh, nothing will come. Some error will get. See here, localhost, because I stopped my server. Okay. So in case, just must be knowing this, in case if you install any new versions like .NET or Git or anything, close this window, then open the new window. Then only it will refresh from the configurations. Otherwise, it will not reflect. Okay. Now what we will do, uh, now what we'll do, we will play with this project with the Git operations, what we discussed yesterday. Right now, where am I? Hello world. If you see, I think yesterday I showed you, right? How to initialize or how to make your local folder as a local repository or Git related. Now, right now I'm here. If you see, are you seeing any Git here? Nothing, right? .git basically. If I use the Git command, Git status This we'll use very frequently. It is clearly saying not a Git repository, right? Now, how to make this as a Git repository? You can see here. Right now,
We
nothing
need
is.
to clone it first.
No, first initialize your Git. Then only your clone command will work.
Yeah. Yes. Got it.
First, you need to
For the
make
first
this
time,
as a
yes.
Git repository. Yeah. As soon as I see here, .git folder is added. Okay. So it is a hidden folder. So inside my hello world app folder, this hidden folder has been created. Okay. Now there will be many things inside that. Forget about it. It is not our this thing at all. In case if you are not seeing, enable your view option from the view option to see the hidden folders, right? So we are not interested at this point. What is there inside this? Hooks and all, I'll talk about later, and reference all those things, configurations. Your complete commit or logs, all the information will be stored inside this, right? Again, we are not interested at this point because it is internal. You won't even understand many things, what is happening inside. Okay. That is the algorithms which will be used. Okay. Now we have got project setup and we have got the Git initialized. Basically, these are local repository. Let us work on with the local repository. You see this here. First, right now, working directory we created. Then we are working in this area now. Now, did we commit anything? No, we have not yet committed anything. First thing, I recommend. This is my recommendation. It is up to you. First thing, you download what is that? Visual Code. Basically, go to visualstudio.net. ID I'm talking about. Download visualstudio.net, VS Code basically, right? If you install VS Code, Visual Studio Code, it is very, very useful, right? It's a code editor because it is a small, lightweight and freeware and no charge at all. So you can install not only for this, for any development activities you can use. And there are a lot of plugins and it will support almost all programming languages, right? If you install, the advantage is wherever you are right now, just type code dot. Dot is nothing but current directory. And just enter code dot. It will open Visual Studio. You see here, a folder under that a solution. Okay. Git is hidden folder. That is why it is not displaying here. You may want to add some files. You may want to make changes to these files. It's all up to you, right? So right now, any of these files are committed. All these files saved into the local repository? No, not yet. How to do that? We'll see. Now you see the Git status. Earlier, nothing was, it was giving, it is not a Git repository, right? You see here, red color. What does it mean? These are not part of tracking list, right? Okay. If it is red color means that is untracked files, right? There is one important point before making it to these files as a tracked files. You need to make sure that create a .ignore file, which is very, very important. Why? Because there are so many folders, so many files which are not required to track. You need to mention all those things. Because if you don't mention all these things which are not required in .get ignore file, it will start tracking. It will become unnecessary headache. Unnecessary files will be sitting in your repository. Okay. Most of the things which we do not want to track it. Like example, right now, if we see that some DLLs we saw, right, inside.
Under bin and debug.
This will be generated dynamically every time. Do we really need to track that? Not required. Bin folder at all, not only bin objects, because it is dynamic. There's no point in tracking it. Anytime if you have a source code, just execute that command, it will generate it. So there is no use. And first of all, it is not recommended to store all your exes and DLLs into the any repository. Okay. Again, obj is a temporary folder here. You can obj and bin. For timing, I'll just say obj and bin. I'll show you how to ignore and what are the list of files which we can ignore based on language, all those things. Okay. Now go to Visual Studio Code, create wherever you have a project basically, right? Where are we right now? Go to wherever the solution directory is there. We have solution code dot. Okay. Let it open. Here under this, add a file. Basically, here you have option, add a file or add a folder. Okay. .git ignore. Okay. It is not here. I want at the top level. Is that setup has detected?
It goes inside .web or .solution.
It should be along with your dot solution. That's why I escaped it.
Okay, it's a project, right? So the main project includes all the files, so we need to ignore the unnecessary ones.
Exactly. On the web level, we need to do that. What is the please close all instances? No. What is this? Here we need. Okay. And what am I going to have inside this? But right now, I want to ignore two things. One is bin, another one is obj. Right? Save it and close it. Now go to the command prompt and check the git status again. You see here, .git is added. Okay. Now, because we added .git ignore file, next time when you push your code, right, it will by default ignore whatever the content inside .bin and whatever the content inside .object. Right. Now, how to stage these files? Same, yesterday I showed you, right? Same snip you take. What is the first command to stage the files? Git add. This is staging. All the files which are there in the current directory and subdirectories are going to staged, except the files which we have mentioned in .git ignore file. Now, if we see the git status, everything is, let's see here, we don't have bin and obj folders here. Other than bin and obj, everything is there. So it is very important to maintain .git ignore file before staging into your code. Remember again, don't stage, then create a git ignore. That will not consider. First, it should be .git ignore, then we'll do. So what we have done, first initialize the git using .git init. Then we have created a .git ignore file and added the files and folders which are supposed to be ignored. Then we have added staged basically using the git add command. Now, once you have the git add command, now what is the next command? I'll take you again this. Now I need to commit these files. Git add is done. Git commit I need to do now. Right? Git commit and message. What is my message? Initial version. Okay. Just enter. Everything is committed. Whatever was staged, all these things will be there in local repository now. Now, if you see git status, see, nothing to commit, working tree is clean. Where? On branch master, because everything is already committed, whatever we have. Now let us do one thing. I will edit one of the dot. I'm just editing. I'll just modify some files. Okay, now go here. Maybe just to change the home page, I will modify index file. Okay. Right now we saw welcome, right? In our website. Now I'll say welcome to Git. Okay. Temporarily okay, source. This is okay. Now I saved this and close it. That's all. Now if we see the Git status, it will show that particular file, whatever has been modified in red color. That means it is not staged, not the file. Basically, file has been staged already. Once you modify, then again it will be like unstaged. How to stage it? Same command. Git add.
Again, add it again.
Because I have only one file, I'll use the dot. Otherwise, you can specify the file name. Right? You can specify git add this also, like this. Anything is fine. Now, if you check the git status, it is staged. But again, did we committed this? No. Right?
No.
Now, if you want to commit, what is the command? What is the
Git
command?
Commit. Git commit. Git commit.
Commit -m modified title. Right? I'll just modify modified title. Right? Something which is relevant to that context of what you have modified.
Comments. So where do we get to see the comments which we mentioned? I mean, if required. I mean, for the new version.
I'll show you that. I'll come. Okay. So now what it is saying, one file changed, one insertion, right? Anything deletion? Nothing. Right. That is what it is saying. Now, if you see the status, nothing is there. Now use the git log command here. This is what we have done. And this is the commit ID. This is what you're asking, right? Where do we see this message? So if you use the git log option, you can see this. This is the initial version which we have committed. And who has committed? Developer 1. Right?
Got it.
So this is how we can check. Okay. So sometimes what happens, so in case if you are using the first time, you can give from where am I getting the developer 1? Here. You need to use these 3 commands. Identity, basically git config, username, whatever, git config, username, whatever it is, so and so. So you can, whatever you mention here, let's say abc.com, that will be displayed here. This one. So just to summarize what we have done till now, this is important, which we are going to use for most of the sessions. Okay, these are the process. So, that's why I'm repeating it. This is what we have done, I think yesterday. Git clone we have not done because we have used the git add and we have used git commit, git pull also not done, git log we have used, right? Any doubt so far?
No, we are still within the local repository.
Local repository.
So, so let's just say, do we deal with any of these project files like .NET or any of other kinds, like you just created them, right?
Right.
.NET. So do we also have to deal with them in daily?
No.
Daily
That is
work?
not at all a DevOps engineer's work. That just for understanding how actually the projects will get created. I'm just showing.
Yeah.
This is what our regular work.
Yeah, we might have to deal only with a repository thing.
Yes, repos. So
Stage,
next,
stage,
whatever we
pull.
are going to cover,
Yeah.
that will be like our major work.
Okay.
Okay. Majorly for the pipelines and the version controlling and administration, Git repo level, all those things will be the DevOps engineers work. Okay. So where are we? Okay. Now, till now, what we have done only to here, right? Now, what we have to do, one file we modified, we have done the same scenario what we discussed here. Developer 110 commits, developer 210 commits. That we will do. Example, what is it? You can stage multiple files basically. Then at a time, you can do a single commit. You can do git add 1, git add 2, git add 3, git add 4. Assume 4 times you have modified from morning to evening. Before going to home, you want to save those changes. Then use a single git commit. So for multiple git adds, single commit is enough, right? And in case for some reason, before committing,
Sorry, can we just I mean repeat that again? I didn't understand.
no, what I was trying to say, in case if you have multiple changes, you no need to commit every time. You can add multiple stagings, basically git add file 1, git add file 2, let's say morning to evening, you have modified multiple files and you can add multiple git adds. So combining all together, you can use single git commit and commit all the staged files at a time. That is one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
why
got it.
I'm saying that point is sometimes you may have to roll back. Assume something modified, maybe after discussing with your colleagues, right? You may have to roll back from the staging area itself. You can revert it back easily. And once it
Okay.
is confirmed that it is what expected, then only you can go ahead and commit.
Okay. Otherwise, if there is any other thing modified, we need to again commit on the single file back again.
Right. Okay. Now, if you want to see complete information, you can use the git log. That is what it is, the same thing I have explained here. I have given all the comments how to create solution, building a project example. If you want to try it out, okay. Then first thing, in case after creating your project, initialize the git, then make sure to add the .git ignore file, and how to do that. All those things I have mentioned here, and how to check git status will give you the information what is happening in your local working area. Then stage your changes. If you want to stage your changes, once you are done with your changes, local changes, then use the git add commit. Then save with the comments. How to do that? Git commit. Okay, this is one time which I already showed you, right? In case if you want to do. So this is what is the okay. Now till now, what we have done, we have seen how to do this in a local repository. Let us do uh, with the remote repositories, basically. For that, first we have to create a project in your Azure repository. Okay. Any doubt before I move to the
So the final comments which you showed, right? Like
right?
author details, email
Yes,
or name, whatever it is.
right, right.
So for yeah, Git author, Git username details. So once we do the create the project on Azure, then
This is local
if we yeah
because
yeah this is
uh,
local. Yeah,
uh,
when I mean my query is like when we create what they call create a project on Azure, then if
Azure.
we check the Git log, yeah, then we
Mm,
check the Git log on our local machine.
mhm.
So what kind of logs do we get to see? I mean, do I get to
Whatever
see
is
the
there in
logs?
your local repository,
Only
same
local
thing.
repository.
Same
Okay.
thing
I
because
don't
this
get to
is
see anything from Azure.
no. That's what I think
Okay.
you were not there yesterday. So what it will do, whatever is there, this is the remote repository. When you use the Git clone or other way, I'll show you that options, those options also. It is
Okay, sir.
exactly a replica of whatever is there in your remote repository. You see this diagram, this picture if you see here, right? Here. The remote repo and local repo both are same. Only the changes may be delta changes will be different. That's all. Log wise, everything same. Whatever log you can see here, the git log, whatever we have seen here, log again. So same thing. Okay. Initial version modified, whatever it is. Two commits only you have done, right? So that is the reason it's showing only two. Okay. Now let us go to remote repository.
So let's go to Azure and then create a project, and
Yes,
then
yes.
also there
So now,
also, yeah, we do have to do any command thing there, or not required.
no commands there. I'll show
It's
you.
only a repository. It's only a repository.
Repository. From here
Yeah.
to there, how we'll push. Of course, there are options in the Azure repos also, but
Okay.
recommendation is not to use that. But I'll show you both. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, whatever we have done as a developer one, we have done this part, right? These things we have not yet done. To share this code with the other developers, we need to push these changes first to the remote repository. For that, we should have a remote repository first. So let us go ahead and create remote repository. So for that, you need to log into your DevOps portal. In case you have not created your organization and project, okay, create. Ideally, it should be good to have a same. Just give me a sec. Just for reference, running it. Save this. Save this. Okay. Now go here and create a new project. I'm just trying to maintain the same project name what we have created locally. Okay. Old what we have created demo, right? App or demo, which one?
Hello
It is
world.
not. It is
Hello
not
world.
mandatory, but you can
Yeah.
create whichever. Okay.
Yeah. Hello world app.
Yeah. You select this advanced. So here, whatever we want. Right now, for repository level, it really doesn't matter which process you are going to use. Public or private, you can select whichever you want. And version control system, there is Git or Bitbucket. In case if you have multiple things, you can select by taking it from your what is it, marketplace. Okay. For now, we'll go ahead with this option just to create.
Hello,
No,
I just have a doubt. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
So, the one where we have created the .exe or the .dll file, is that, I mean, it's pretty confusing as someone who doesn't have an IT background. So, is it the job of the developer or the DevOps engineer?
that's what that is completely a developer's work. If you don't know, even ignore. If you know, it will be good. That's all. So what actually we tried there is something called build. Okay. Are you familiar with any programming language like Java or anything?
I have a little knowledge in Python.
Okay. Anything you can take. Generally, if you take Python, right?
Mhm.
If you edit any Python file, it will be in human readable format, right?
Hmm.
If you share that same file with the customers or stakeholders, what will happen? They might copy that source code and they can use it wherever they want, right? They can replicate it easily. For
Hmm.
that reason, we will use a something called build. What actually the build does, it will compile your source code, okay, and convert that into non-readable format, encryption basically. Okay, then it will generate the executables. Assume if you want to install any software, what is the way you will get? Either .exe or .iso, something you will get it, right? So can you read that? What is the content inside that? You cannot read that. Even if you read it, you cannot understand what is there inside because that is an executable. There it is. DLL. If you try to edit this file, let's say Notepad++, just once, you won't even understand what is there inside. Some garbage. Can you understand this? So encrypting your readable format using the compilation option and creating the executable is nothing but a build. Okay, that's all we have done. That is the internal compilers will actually convert this, it will generate this by reading your source code. Where is the source code? Again, your source code is here. Now, if you see, just now we saw the right? Just giving one example. Index.html. This is readable format. This is what we saw in your website. Welcome, whatever it is. Earlier only welcome. As part of our commit, we added to Git, right?
Yes.
Clear? Okay. Now, yes, we created our project, right? If you go and see your repos, it will be empty right now. See here, nothing is there. There are three options here, basically. Clone to your computer. Assume someone is already loaded or uploaded into your Azure, then you can use the git clone option. This is what we told, git clone. If you want to take, or if you have a project which is already added into repository, then if you want to take that repository into your local, assume this guy is already added as a developer too, I want to take this, then I will use the git clone option. But that is not the case. Right now, where are we? We are still with developer 1. This is not applicable at this point in time. So what is the option we have? Push. Because I have my existing repository. Where do I have my repository? In my local. So I will be pushing my existing local repository to this. And there are two ways, using HTTPS and SSH, right? A different way of connecting. Because I'm working on Windows, I'll use HTTPS. Both will work. It's up to you. Okay. The commands here, I'm just copying it here. I'll copy it in here. There are two commands. First, what it is doing, git remote add origin, right? Where am I going to execute this? In my local machine. I'll say git remote add origin to, what is this origin? It's a name at what we are going to give for this repository. Under this organization, under this particular project, it git repository, basically hello world by demo. For this remote repository, we are giving a name called origin. If you want, you can change whichever you want, but it is not recommended. Origin is because origin, the name that will give, that has some meaning. And after that, what are we doing? We are doing git push to origin. Whatever we have, all means whatever we have the current project, everything we are pushing. Basically, the content of the master branch in my local, I am pushing into origin to my remote. First, let me execute this. I'll just paste it in my local directory. This is where my git repository is there, right? Just paste it. Okay. Now git push. Now it is connected to origin. Now what will I do? I'll just push that. If you are using first time, it will ask you your credentials. Please enter your credentials. If you are doing first time, just log in with your Azure credentials. You must be having some credentials to log into this page, right? dev.azure.com.
Yeah, SSH or HTTPS, we need authentication to
Right.
and fro.
Use whichever is required. Okay.
Okay.
So it will give you completely how many objects? 105 objects, right? Including all these subfolders, complete information you have. Now, if you go and check your, see here, now the local master has gone to remote master. Just verify that. Right now here, nothing, right? Just click on files again. My remote master branch is here now. See here, right now I have only one master branch. This is remote master. Okay. Whatever we had locally will have same thing basically has come here. You just verify views. We modified one file, right? Home index.cshtml. Welcome to Git we have added. The complete commits, whatever was there in local, git log 2 commits were there, right? You can find here. First commit and second. Initial version and modify. How many pushes? We have not done any push. With that create this, just now we have done one push, right? Here, git push. It is the one push which is done. And any masters we have, all the information. Any branches, I have only master. Okay. So what we have done, the files from my local have now come to my remote, right? Hereafter, every time if I do some change, what I will do, sorry, code dot. So welcome to Git. I'll say something modify here. Whatever. Welcome to Git. I'm using push. I just pushed it. I'm adding again. Just save and close. Okay. Now use the Git status. Same story. This file is modified. So what is the command now? To stage.
Again stage it and commit. Git commit. Git commit.
Git commit. Will it work? Git commit if I give?
Git add and
oh, sorry. And again, we need to give git commit -n. Sorry, git commit m.
No, before committing, what we should do?
Again, do we need to add
stage it?
Yeah.
What is the command? Git add is mandatory.
Yeah, add it again. Yeah, add it. Sorry.
So I'll use git add. I can use dot or file name. I'm sure that only one file is modified. I'm okay with that. Giving dot. Now git commit. -m.
Any comments? I will change it.
Again. I changed it again. Did I push this change?
Yes.
Now you go and check in origin. We'll just refresh, go back to files. Okay. See here, views, home, index.html, still git only. That push is not there. Now what I'll do, I will use git push. Remember what is the name we gave? Origin. Origin into master branch.
Command.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Before that, let me show you something. Where am I right now? There is a command called use this git branch command just to check on which branch you are right now. The active branch locally. Okay. So the two things to indicate the current active branch. One is green color, another one is this asterisk star. Okay. I'll show you when we create multiple branches. For now, that is that. So right now I'm in the master branch. Now what I need to do, I need to push my local master to remote master, right? I'll just do that. This is the remote repository name. In this remote repository, master is the branch. Okay. Now you go and refresh. First go to commit. You see here, title changed again. Just now you can see. Now go and check your files. So like this, it goes on to push here. I'll do the changes to my project. I will stage it. I will commit. I'll push it. Okay, then I'll continue working with these files. So this is how there will be multiple commits, multiple pushes, multiple things, right?
Okay, so a question here. So
Yes.
we use git push origin and master here, right? So the origin resembles the remote
Remote name,
repo,
remote
remote
repo name,
repo. Yeah,
repo
yeah,
name.
remote repo name, and
Within
the
that, you
master
can
is a
have
local one.
multiple branches. Master is the branch.
Okay, the master is also branch on Azure only.
Yes, yes. You can create multiple branches. I'll come back to that maybe in 1 or 2 sessions. Right now, I don't want to
Okay.
confuse you guys. Okay, how to create multiple branches, how to merge between the branch, all those things. There are so many things to cover in this topic. At least some 8 to 9 sessions will be there in this topic only, because which is the core work for a DevOps engineer.
Oh, another query here.
Yes.
You have added me, for example, if you have added me into one project. Yes, so I can also make changes and I can push those. I mean, push my files onto the from local repo to remote repo, right?
Yes, yes. Because you are part of this organization now,
Yes,
right?
yes. If I'm the part of this organization and I have the specific path like
Project level
what
access.
project? Yes.
Yes. Again, there are so many things. Even you can control at repo level, you can control at branch level. Okay, I'll talk about that also when that topic comes.
Okay, Ji. Okay.
Permissions. Okay.
Okay, Ji.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So till now, what we have done. Yeah.
Yeah. And that would be great if you could help us with the document so that we can
What
try.
I will do, I will create one folder called docs in the same drive. There I'll update for the respective sessions.
Okay. So that we can try, right?
Yes, yes.
If you have queries, we can get back to you.
Yes, yes. I'll upload all the relevant documents, whatever is required or whatever has been covered until that day.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'll stop it here. So till now, what we have done, this we have replicated. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So all the code changes that we are doing right now in the HTML file, those will be in the real-time scenario will be done by the developers, right?
Most of the time, yes. For
Okay,
rare
so
configuration files, which will be owned by the DevOps team or build team or maybe.
so when the developers are making changes to the code, aren't they not allowed to commit these changes to the remote repo?
No, no, no. We will not. I will cover that topic since you asked that question. Okay. Again, there are different levels of access. Again, different branching strategies. So developer will have permission to commit his changes only for the developer branches. As a DevOps engineers, we will maintain our integration branches. Okay. For the integration branches, none of the developers will have permission to commit. Even the leads will not have permission to commit. Only the DevOps engineers will have full control on the release branches. I will talk about that when we talk about pull request. There is a pull request concept is there. So everything will come through a review mechanism, which is through a pull request. I'll talk about that. Okay. So we have created a working copy. We have created a local repository. We have pushed those changes from local repository to remote repository. That is what we have seen. So we'll continue from next session with the next topic.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, no problem. We don't have any doubt.